So everyone's talking about the trailer that came out this morning for Sony Pictures' new film, Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, the sequel to the Venom film from a few years ago, starring Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock. This, of course, is going to feature the on-screen debut for the first time ever of Carnage, one of the villains from the Spider-Man universe that really was an iconic figure of the 90s. As a kid, Carnage was a big deal. I was around when the Carnage storylines first started getting popular, including, of course, Maximum Carnage, which had its own video game. And it was a pretty good game, too, back in the day on all the consoles. Woody Harrelson will be playing Cletus Cassidy, who becomes Carnage when the symbiote, touches him or whatever. It makes contact with him. And that will eventually lead to a confrontation with Venom, the Protector. Now, the thing about this trailer is there's a lot of comedy in the trailer. Like, the life of Eddie Brock dealing with the symbiote is pretty damn funny. I'm not going to lie. Like, the way that they made it look and, Eddie Brock sort of eating breakfast and the symbiote making him breakfast and all that, that was pretty funny stuff. And I thought it was good. I thought it was fine. He wants to eat the Asian lady. That's all good. And then we see, the origin of Carnage. We see him, we see Woody Harrelson, tied to a desk and they inject him, probably with some kind of experiment. Looks like it'll be different from the previous origin story of, Carnage. And it'll eventually end up being Venom versus Carnage in a big showdown. The thing I have to say about this is, even though we knew this was coming, based on the post-credit scene from the previous Venom film with Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy, I feel that it's going to be weird to have a Carnage storyline without Spider-Man. I mean, I thought it was weird to have Venom without Spider-Man because Venom is a natural extension of Spider-Man. The black costume went on to Peter Parker, then eventually went on its own, touched Eddie Brock, became Venom, and then later on that would create Carnage. And then we had a big storyline in the comics. It was actually one of the bigger storylines of the 90s, like I mentioned earlier, where Spider-Man and Venom had to team up. Two enemies who had been foes for a very long time would have to join forces against Venom. And there was appearances from other heroes and things like that. Not really any of the major Marvel players, but there were some appearances from other people and whatnot in Maximum Carnage. And you had Doppelganger and all these other characters that were working under Cletus Cassidy. The thing about Cletus Cassidy is that unlike Venom, unlike Eddie Brock, he has there's no good side to him. Carnage is a sociopath, a psychotic sociopath, and he has no conscience. He likes to kill. He likes to hurt people. He's a murderer. He's literally a murderer. And he will be ruthless and cannot be reasoned with or bargained with. He does whatever he wants. And it's going to be quite a story to see how Venom is able to take on Carnage. Now, interestingly enough, this film is directed by Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis, of course, worked on a lot of different motion capture effects, a lot of different things. He can do a lot of different things. But, in the movie, but this is the first time I think he's ever directed a movie. I think this is the first time, I believe. And it's going to be interesting to see. I'm sure he'll be fine. He has enough experience. But, the previous Venom film I thought was pretty good, and it was okay. And, there's a rumor that Shriek will be in this film. Again, we'll see what happens. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but the trailer looks pretty good. It does look pretty good, and it does look like it could be a fun little film. A smaller film, not something that's going to be earth-shattering and a threat to the world, but, out in California, where Venom is at, it could be a threat there. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. It's the first time we're seeing Carnage. If you see the trailer, he looks awesome. He looks pretty damn awesome. So they got that part right at least. What did you think about the trailer? Let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to y'all soon.